Today on Melanie Lech Multimedia Mythbusters, we'll be exploring the question, is it worth it to hire a product photographer when you can just take the product photos at home on your own? I don't remember the tune. Let's find out. Product photography, I feel like I'm directing an airplane. Product photography is one of the services that I offer, so I am biased, of course. I am no stranger to advertising and editing videos. Like, as an editor, I know how much you can manipulate things. I grew up on ShamWow commercials and stuff. I know what it's like. So I could go into this with the amateur photo being yellow lights, a cruddy background, that kind of thing. But I'm not going to do that. I believe so truly that you can see the actual results and decide for yourself in my favor that I'm going to do that and explore it. So let's get those product photography hats on and let's find out. These are the two setups that I'll be working with. On the amateur side, I'll be shooting with an iPhone 7. This one is a pretty good camera in natural light. If you don't have any equipment, then natural light is generally going to be your best bet, with a white poster board as the background. For the professional photography setup, I'll be shooting on my Nikon D750, which is a full frame camera, a 50mm and wide lens, professional lighting and LED panels, and a gigantic white backdrop. We'll call this setup C. You'll see why at the end. For the purposes of this experiment, the product that I'll be shooting is a Mean Bean water bottle, because I'm cross-promoting. Hey, check out our videos! I'll also shoot these products for good measure and variety. For setup A, I set up shop near a window for the most light possible, and it was pretty straightforward. I didn't use HDR settings because I felt like I was already giving a so-called amateur shoot the benefit of the doubt with the light in the window, so this is how the pictures turned out. For setup C, I used a mixture of LED panels, light boxes, and umbrellas, just depending on what worked best for each product, to light the scene. The LED panels actually have a temperature toggle, but I shot everything in white light for a really even coloring. When you're shooting with the DSLR, it captures so much detail that you can actually see each individual speck of dust on your product, so it's important to do a little bit more prep work beforehand. I shot the pictures a little bit underexposed so I could bring back more detail in post. And then for a really crisp white background, what I'll usually do is just cut the image out because this ensures that it is purely white on the background for every picture. For this koala bear, I actually copied an ear and a leg and posted them to the other side and blended them so it was more symmetrical. Used highlights and shadows to bring back some dimension, and then in the case of the bracelet, actually layered 5 different pictures taken at different depths of field to make a photo composite, which would ensure that each part of it was in focus. And these were the final pictures. So let's break down these results. These are the side-by-side product images from the iPhone versus the DSLR. You'll notice that the background in the DSLR photos is of course a pure white, so it is more consistent. But I also went ahead and edited the iPhone images just to see what they would look like with professional editing, and it really honestly surprised me how good they looked. But again, the backgrounds are not consistent in color, and when you zoom in, the iPhone can't take a detailed enough image to be able to handle the editing and maintain all of that detail, whereas the Nikon can. The iPhone image starts to get grainy and discolored, and it just doesn't look very good. Finally, to cover all the bases, we have the iPhone picture versus a DSLR picture shot with a wide lens. Some people may prefer the wide lens look stylistically, and they might not want that pure white background, so this just gives you an idea of what that looks like professionally done. So, all that taken into account, this myth is busted. And that is why I believe, even in 2019, even with all the fancy camera phones, that it is worth it to invest in a product photographer. If you disagree, leave a comment and let's scrap. Let's scrap about it. It's incredibly valuable to hire a product photographer, especially when you have something like jewelry, because, and I'll try to show some pictures here, when you take that picture, it's so reflective that you'll see the camera, like you'll see your phone and yourself taking the picture inside of the bracelet. And a product photographer has the software and experience to be able to edit that out and make it look convincing and realistic. So hiring a product photographer it's crucial. You're getting the value of not only like thousands of dollars in equipment, depending on the level of the product photographer, but also experience. And you can't put a price on that. I mean, you can because they sell it in college, but I learned a lot of it on my own through so much trial and error. And I can tell you, you don't want to go through it yourself. I can just do it for you. And that concludes this episode of Melanie Lech Multimedia Mythbusters. So if you'd like to work with me, you can send me an email at lechmc1@gmail.com or text me, call me. Credentials-wise, I've worked with loads of different companies and small businesses over the years, one of the most notable ones being Boy Scouts of America Supply Group. So I'm legit. I do work with people remotely. Largely, that's actually what I do. People will mail the products to me, and then I'll take the photos in my little at-home studio, although I absolutely work locally as well. That wraps up today's video, so have a great week, and always remember, when in doubt, pick C. I'm legit. You can count on me. It's 2019. Okay, I don't even know. Like, obviously it's 2019. On today's episode, oh my gosh.